Okay, so this is another day the PMS is playing out on Monday 17th. So that was yesterday. Let me show you guys the setup. We have the Asian range as usual, as you can see. Then we waited for Q zone. It was quite tricky because it gave us the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. Then before reversing, then we entered in that inversion fair value gap. You know how much I like inversion fair value gap. It's one of the strongest entry you can use. Then we had a new weak opening gap, which is an important gap you want to take note of. You can see how pride is expecting the consequent encroachment of that new weak opening gap. It got there, but our major take profit was this high. Price got there. Then we targeted the daily high. Sorry. Yes, yeah. You can see this high. So this is it. That's the setup over there. So it was a large day range. So this is the Asian range. As you can see, the 1, 2, 3 was the low of the day. That gave us the low of the day. Then from there, we had the push higher. So we had the OTE. That's from this to this high. You take that range, that will give you your OTE, optimal trade entry. And that's a very strong entry. Then that was 8:30 open. Then we have 9:30 open here again. That's we put another entry there. Then we targeted the high. So in this video, I'd like to talk about news and the importance of trading with news. If you are new to trading, I feel it's better you stay away from news, any type. If you know that we are going to be having an high volatility news that day, like the FOMC, NFP, CPI, those type of news. If you're new to trading, you should stay away. But along the line, you should learn about it, learn how to trade it because it's actually profitable to some extent. And if you want to learn about news, you need to learn about data. You need to know the usefulness, the meaning of some terminologies first, interest rate and the like. Know how data work with news. So the actual data, that's the data that just came out, the previous data, the former month data, then the forecasted data, which is actually the most important because that tells you the sentiment, what people are expecting, if it's going to be that bullish or bearish. In order to be good in trading news, you have to actually put or invest more in finance. Yes, finance. Read finance book. Read books that are economics book. Understand how money works, how the bank works, how the economy work, how they run a country. The feds, which is the most important, that is the federal government, that will be the United States. Understanding economics, understanding money, understanding many things. If you don't understand those little things or invest time in it, you actually wouldn't be good in trading news. And that's the truth. You don't just look at these South African traders that are always just eating anyhow and trading aggressively. Some of them are mostly scammers in which most people fall for their play. So if you really want to understand news, you mainly have to invest in books. That's the general of what I'm saying. You need to start reading finance books. Invest in important books that will actually broaden your knowledge in understanding how money works, understanding market sentiment, what is happening, and how war affects almost everything, how interest rates affects your day-to-day life, commodity and the likes. If you don't do all that, I'm sorry, you're actually not going to understand news. Yes, you will not be able to trade it. You might, because you have to know there's three things first. There's technical analysis, there's fundamental analysis, and there's psychological analysis. So you can be 100% good in technical. If your fundamental is poor, your trading is actually still going to be bad. You need to know what market sentiment it is because technical will bow down for fundamental, and fundamental and technical will bow down for psychological. That is why no matter the strategy you're using, if your psychology car analysis is poor, which is your brain and your experience and your emotion towards trading. Thousands of things falls under psychological analysis. If that is poor, I'm very sorry, you're actually not going to make money from the market. So you don't just talk about I'm a forex trader and you don't know how money works. You deal with money every day if you're a forex trader, if you're a trader generally, even crypto indices, option trader and the likes. No matter what you're trading, you will need to invest in finance book, economics book. Gives you more knowledge on how money works and how they run a country. All this will actually come in play and in use for you. There's knowledge and there's wisdom. So you might have the knowledge, you don't know how to apply it. But if you want to learn how to apply the knowledge that you learned from those books, it's mainly experience. So you have to be there. You understand? Partake in it. That's wisdom, applied knowledge. So if you partake in the news most times, you don't have to partake in it like putting your hard-earned money. Of course, you can put little cash. I've already said stay away from demo, but you can also tape read, which I've explained what tape reading is if you've watched my previous videos. Like if you're trading US 30 and US 100, and the NAS 100, like me, mostly indices, you want to actually know how to trade news well or use it to your advantage, because every 9:30 there's always this there's 9:30 the embargo open, there's always this news that comes out in the various complaints that comprises of that index. We know US 30 comprises of 30 different complaints, right? So those 30 different complaints, out of I think there are like seven out of those 30 different complaints that are more important in terms of shares. So they have higher shares in those data. So they control like 80 or 70% of the shares. Those seven complaints. So I think those seven complaints. We have the Goldman Sachs, we have the Home Depot, we have the Caterpillar, we have the MC Donald, United Health Group. Very important to know them at least before 9:30. You should know that direction. If it's red, if most of the complaints are red, you know you should be selling. But still quite obey your analysis first. Still do your analysis before the news comes out, so that the news is just like a further confirmation. That is not the high volatility news, but it's the everyday news that comes out. So if it's for the US 100, which is the tech stocks, so mainly the seven biggest tech stock that is in that index. It comprises of 100 complaints, but seven out of those 100 are like the big giants. So you want to take note of what they are doing by that 9:30, the type of news they're dropping. And I think Microsoft is part, Tesla is part, Google is part, Amazon, GS, and UMH. Now, of course, Apple. So you want to add that in your CNBC app and watch it. You just go through your watch list and watch what happened. Every 9:30, there is the embargo open. Notice what happened and you want to trade along with that. Now, everything I'm saying is just mainly for index. There's forex too, you understand. There is the grade between USD, the USD, and the likes. News too comes out during that time. You want to know what is coming out and know how to read it. If not, it's going to affect your trading. Yes, it's going to affect your trading. Most of you are good at technical analysis, but you're poor at fundamental analysis. That's why you're not making money from the market, and that's why it's coming as if it's hard.